Tuning you in now to the LBX show with your hosts, Christine Buer and Brandon Wiley. Brought to you by the LBX Collective, your community to connect, engage, and inspire.
All right, well, welcome everybody to the LBX show for December 15th, 2024. We actually only have one more show this year, so we're going to do a show next week, and then we're going to take a break for the New Year's, Christmas / holiday, etc., and then we'll just dive right into it in the beginning of the next year. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. So on the show today, we have the Arcade Corner, Open and Shut with Kevin Williams, promo pro tips with Chuck DeMonte, and then we actually have a crowd question. So I'm excited about that one. We went out to our LBX Galaxy folks and said, hey, what questions do you want answered on the show? So we're going to go ahead and do a crowd question for the show. All right, so speaking of the LBX Galaxy, things are beginning to start to take off. So definitely want to get onto the LBX Galaxy, and that is lbxgalaxy.com for those of you who are listening, or if you want to be watching this, you can go ahead and scan this QR code. And you go to lbxgalaxy.com, there'll be a little form you fill out to request an invite to join the Galaxy. And conversation is beginning to start out there. There's lots of good information flowing, and so definitely don't want to miss out. The first 100 members that we bring on board, which we're almost there, are going to be our founding members, and they get an entire year's worth of all this extra special bonus content that we're putting in there. So anyway, hop on to the LBX Galaxy. It's lbxgalaxy.com, and join and sign up. All right. That being said, let's dive into some news you should know. All right. So we've talked about this in the last couple of shows, but it is important because these two events are coming up already in January, and they seem like they're far away, but they're actually not. They're just a couple of weeks away, believe it or not. So it is crazy. EAG, which is the Entertainment, Attractions, and Gaming Expo in Europe, is taking place January 14th to the 16th at Excel in London. And it also is co-located with the Social Immersive Entertainment Expo. And our good friend Kevin Williams is spearheading that extra bonus expo that is now attached to EAG. And so definitely want to go, and if you're going to be in the London area or if you're in Europe, swing on over, check out EAG. It's going to be exciting, and actually just a cool announcement here. I am now going to be speaking on a panel there. It's on new amusement, and it's called Sale of the Century. And so it's basically the final session of the event, and we're going to look at how amusement is embracing social entertainment and all of these new applications. And we're going to be speaking with those who are implementing and utilizing the different types of applications and the impact on the current business. And so I'll be one of a couple of panel members, and I'm excited for that conversation about the social competition and social competitive space. All right. Then we also have IAAPA's FEC Summit 2025, and this is taking place in New Orleans just a couple of days later after EAG, January 19th to the 21st. And excited about this as well because Sherry Howell is going to join us next week. She is the FEC committee chair for IAAPA, and she's going to join us next week to talk a little bit about the FEC Summit and what we can expect. That being said, before she joins us next week, I did get my hands on an exclusive first look of the FEC Summit 2025. This is a video that will eventually be on the website, but it is not there yet. So this is your first chance to take a look at what to expect at the FEC Summit 2025 in New Orleans.
Stand out in a crowded market. Become the #1 choice among your competitors at IAAPA FEC Summit 2025. Find new inspiration in the big, easy. Learn from thought-provoking industry trailblazers. Gain VIP access you can only experience on IAAPA Edu Tours, and elevate your business by connecting with industry professionals. Be the clear choice among your competitors, and bring valuable insights back to your facility. Register now for IAAPA FEC Summit 2025.
All right, awesome. So if you haven't already done so, definitely go and do that, because you are going to end up running into you have an opportunity anyway at this point to have an early bird pricing. So you definitely want to hop on over to IAAPA.org and go ahead and get registered for the FEC Summit 2025. So definitely do that. All right. So a couple of observations I just wanted to talk through. First of all, there is a new indoor playground in Prince George, and this is going to help families basically beat the winter. So Jack's Indoor Playground, Jack's Indoor Adventure Playground is now open in the Roller Dome. And so Amos and Happy Dale, they are the proprietors, and here we got a little picture of them. So these are the proprietors of the of the venue. Let's see here. I'm just trying to get my. There we go. All right. Okay. They have a bunch of inflatables, and basically it's an indoor playground for kids and also for parents, and they have tons of activities in Roller Dome. And the Jack's Indoor Playground is partnered with Party Kings and offering a bunch of different family-friendly events this holiday season. And that's basically what I wanted to talk about here, is that they have, they have standard, pretty standard indoor inflatable fun zone, and but they've done a bunch of work to create multiple different types of holiday events. And so thought I would just go through a couple of these because I think they're great ideas and they're things that could definitely be implemented in your facilities. It's probably too late for that this year, but definitely something to think about next year. I always love a lot of the different holiday events that different people come up with. So one of them is called the Merry Grinchmas Festival, and it is taking place December 7th and 8th. And again, instead of doing it one time, we've talked about this on the show before, when you're doing these special events, sometimes try to do them multiple times throughout the season, because sometimes people might want to go to your Merry Grinchmas Festival, but only be able to go on the 8th. And if you only do it on the 7th, then you're missing out on an opportunity. So definitely spreading these out throughout. Now, they did also do the Polar Express Pajama Party and movie screening, and that is today. That is Saturday, well, not today. That is Saturday, although they say Saturday, December 13th, which is weird because actually December 13th is a Friday. So, I'm not sure what they say on their poster here, but anyway. They have the Polar Express, but I wanted to go through what they've done with the Merry Grinchmas Festival. I thought some of these things were really well done. This had the potential to be a little bit like the Wonka Chocolate Adventure that we saw in London, but it wasn't. And actually, they did a great job. They took this ballroom area that they had, this big event room, and they really just decked it out. And so you've got a couple of pictures here. And then what I liked as well is that not only did they have the inflatables that obviously the kids can go play on, but they had other different craft stations and Lego stations and train stations to go and have fun and play. And again, just a great job with the balloons and the decorations. And you get what you are expecting, right? There's an inflatable Grinch there. Kids can take pictures in front of the Who environment. And then what I love as well is that they actually had a Grinch come and do storytelling, do photos, and all of that good stuff. So the Grinch is actually reading the book to these kids. And anyway, it's super awesome. And again, what I like is that they didn't just pick one. They did the Polar Express, they did the Grinch, they've got hot cocoa and a bunch of stuff. So they're doing things to help drive recurring traffic during this holiday season and potentially to build family traditions. If they do this Grinchmas every year, then this is something that kids are going to look forward to, parents are going to look forward to bringing their kids to, so they can take a picture with the Grinch, listen to a story from the Grinch, and then also bounce around and have fun. So anyway, I just thought they did a great job. And then also, had little games as well, like put the heart on, give the Grinch a heart. And so it's kind of like pin the tail on a donkey, which I guess we don't do anymore because, you're pinning the tail on the donkey, I guess. It's Eeyore. Eeyore has a pinned tail. Maybe that's where it came from originally. I don't know. Actually, it's a good question. Which one came first? Maybe somebody knows. They can go to the LBX Galaxy and let us know. Drop it into the comments. Which came first, Eeyore with the pinned tail, or the game, Pin the Tail on the Donkey? I do wonder. All right. Anyway, that's enough of that. That is the Jack's Indoor Adventure Playground and is now open in the Roller Dome. Okay, so Experiential Retailer Camp is expanding with its 10th store, and they're opening at the Galleria in Houston, of course, because everything's opening in fucking Houston. And they are opening in February 2025, and it's a 7,500 square foot retail location. And it is this is the Galleria, which is the largest shopping mall in Texas, actually, and it is massive, and it's the 7th largest in the US. And it's going to debut with Bluey and Bluey X Camp, which is like Bluey plus Camp retail experience, which is created in collaboration with BBC Studios, obviously, and the show's producer is Ludo Studio. So we've got a couple of pictures here. We'll take a look at these as well. So what's really awesome is Camp does a great job with their retailtainment environments. You basically get to walk through an entire Bluey's house and experience the different things within Bluey's house. They serves as a toy store, party venues, also immersive theater experiences, and behind Camp's magic door, which you always walk through in order to go into one of the camp experiences, guests will discover a 5,000 square foot house entirely inspired by the TV show. So you get to play Bluey games like Magic Asparagus and Keep Uppy, and then they get to show off their dance moves. As dance mode is activated, they can climb through a 2-story pillow fort and a cardbox box castle with slides, find hidden Easter eggs from Bluey episodes, and then they also get to watch short Bluey animations by Luna Studio, take selfies with Bingo and Bluey as well. I don't know if I have a picture of that, but they actually have some selfies. And of course, like all camp stores, which they specialize in, it will include a retail space where you can also create slime. There's a splatter room, and then a party room for birthdays. So here's a picture of the splatter room. The kids get to go and have lots of fun just throwing paint around. So anyway, it's overall a 50-minute experience that is pretty cool to check out. And we've got a little 16-second bumper video I thought we would take a look at and watch here just shortly. There's no audio, by the way. So if you're listening, you can pop on over to YouTube/LBX Collective and check this out. But look at that. It's a ton of fun. So again, 50-minute experience. The cast, there's a little picture of the Blueys, them having fun, dancing with the animals and the dogs and Bluey, and I don't know. I'm not a Bluey guy, so but kids look like they're having a bunch of fun. Anyway, prices bounce around $35, $34, $35, $38. It definitely is priced differently for weekends versus weekdays. And so it's about $34 per person. You can join a camp membership and then pay. You buy 3 of them and you get your fourth visit, or not fourth visit, but fourth ticket free. So if you're a family of 4, probably better just buy the membership. And then anyway, all that being said, that is the camp experience now for Bluey. And so definitely, I've yet to actually experience a camp. They don't have any in Phoenix out here. So hoping that eventually we'll find one in Scottsdale and go check those out. All right. Last thing I want to touch on is Morgan's Wonderland, and their founder. We actually had a chance to visit Morgan's Wonderland in San Antonio, and it's absolutely phenomenal. If you're not familiar with Morgan's Wonderland, it's the world's first theme park designed and built for people with special needs, and they've now created a new institute called their Inclusion Institute. And it was created by Morgan's and falls under their same umbrella. And they're going to basically share insights. So here's a picture of their Morgan's Inclusion Institute. Basically share insights on how individuals and businesses can be more inclusive. They're trying to just extend their mission beyond their ultra accessible entities. Like they actually have a hospital, and they have obviously the theme park called Morgan's Wonderland, to inspire and equip others to foster inclusivity is what their founder says. And they are turning 15, which is crazy to me. That Morgan's Wonderland is only turning 15 in 2025. So I thought they were older apart from that. But they're basically trying to take all of the insights that they've gained over the last few years to equip and spark cultural change by setting a new standard of excellence in accessibility and inclusion. And they say that some of the key offerings of the Inclusion Institute will include disability inclusion training, resources to help organizations create welcoming environments for everyone, customized plans, project consultations, and inclusion assessments, as well as ultra accessible certifications. So you can actually get your venue certified. And they're, again, just trying to, enhance everything that they're doing. And they say that Brett Fields, CEO of Morgan's, says by connecting participants with experts from Morgan's, the Institute empowers learners to implement meaningful changes in their communities and industries, embracing what we call the Morgan's way. So anyway, it's just great to see this really phenomenal theme park. If you don't ever have a chance to visit in San Antonio, highly recommend you go and check it out. Because here's an example of one of the rides at Morgan's. Everything is really meant to be accessible and inclusive, and it's a phenomenal environment to check out. So anyway, that is the news you should know for this week, and we'll dive right into Open and Shut after word from Intercard.
Intercard is the only cashless system designed, developed, and manufactured all under one roof. They introduced cashless technology to the amusement industry and have been leading the way for over 30 years. Cashless systems from Intercard increase customer spending, guest satisfaction, and boost revenues by up to 30%. Intercard is so proud to be serving the amusement industry, and if you aren't already part of their global family of customers, they hope you will become one soon.
All right, now let's hear from Kevin Williams on Open and Shut.
Hey, welcome to another Open and Shut, another crowded selection of products to talk about this year. Well, as we come to the end of the year, so we'll jump straight in. And regarding the openings, we have a temporary opening, which is interesting. Our friends at Sandbox VR have actually undertaken to put into Riyadh during the season a temporary version of their VR experience. I'm not sure how many months they're going to keep this here, but at least it allows them to have the product on the ground, as it were, and it is free publicity as well as, I think it may be leading to them opening a permanent site. We also have, we jump across really to the Netherlands, and we have the opening of another of the Gamebox facilities. I always like the name of this one. They have about 11 facilities now with this, and it is an upscale family entertainment center that fits into the normal mix of a retail location. Our friends at F1 Arcade threw the doors open on their Las Vegas facility, which now is going to be moving towards being more of a VIP event. We understand about the Las Vegas F1 event being a very important sector for them in the next couple of months, years. Our friends at Flight Club moved into Australia, which is another territory, along with Texas, that we hear a lot about recently. This particular Flight Club is unique, as in it's offering a kind of a launch pad for their future venues. We've already talked about their Dublin opening, and they're really rolling out a number of this augmented or technology-infused darts entertainment facility. Our Shotgun technology-infused social entertainment experience, Clays, announced open through the doors open on their Birmingham facility. They are gaining momentum with their particular brand after opening their first London facility. And then Germany again with the Kiddyland brand has a number of facilities that are offering a more soft play kind of approach. This is the first of their facilities that is sort of acting more like a what I would call a mixed-use leisure entertainment facility, even though it's quite compact, but it is under the Cool brand. So we now have Cool by Kiddyland, and I expect them to accelerate the rollout of this particular operation. Strike, again in Australia, part of our friends at LAI and Time Zone, all under the Helix operation. They have powered along and added to their 13 facilities this brand new site in Victoria. This is really a consolidation of their bowling component along with their FEC component. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see this kind of operation expand and also maybe look at a more international placement. When I say international placement, I'm thinking about their Vietnam, Singapore, and India opportunities. Bath in London has, Bath in England has added a Putify to their sports entertainment centre out there. So this is parachuting in a capability for this. Roxy is the bowling lane chain that we're familiar with, one of the earliest of the boutique bowling environments. And it gives us a glimpse now with their new Bristol facility that they are expanding, but also looking at a more wider application. Go safe, please. And then we have some interesting news regarding Area 15. We were talking about that recently and how things are changing within the structure in the Las Vegas facility. Well, this is quite a large development. They're adding a Felix and Paul developed experience, which is which is similar to the Space Explorers style site, which they've been using as a traveling VR and immersive entertainment experience. They've now announced that they're going to be rolling out a 20,000 square foot facility within the Area 15 facility, and that will be incorporating virtual reality as well as immersive experiences. Jumping to Japan quickly, and if you have 9-story buildings sitting around in the middle of Tokyo, why not turn it into an immersive food experience? And when we say an immersive food experience, we really are talking immersive. Each one of these floors has different foods, it has live performance, and it has a level of what I would call food attainment. Oops, a new word to add to the mix. Where one of the floors is a kind of bar layout and they have customized crane machines and amusement machines. An interesting concept. Whether we will see that ever parachute outside of Japan is another question. Then Switzerland didn't want to be left out of the European explosion in family entertainment and social entertainment venues, and so Fry Bowling has announced the opening of their latest site. Really, it is a taking over of an existing traditional bowling site and rebranding it and repurposing it to be more modern. I get the feeling that this 4,000 square meter facility could be the beginning of a chain of sites within the cantons of the region. We have a brand new high flyer in competitive socializing with our friends at Super Social, which is a brand new competitive socializing concept, which is looking to roll out a multiplayer environment. They have selected a number of the top range competitive socializing systems. They have a very strong F&B offering, and they're going to roll the first one of these out. All doors already thrown open in Dublin, and then this is part of a chain of stores which is being considered by the operation. Then we have a group of entertainment facilities clustering together, something that I think we'll be seeing a lot more of as space becomes fought over. In Tennessee, we're seeing both a Crayola experience, the coloring crayons, Crayola, thank you. And we're also seeing a Nerf action experience sitting side by side in a hub as an entertainment offering. That's throws its doors open in Tennessee for 2025. And as I said, though I think we'll see other companies going down this path of clustering together because misery loves company. Our friends at Bandai Namco in Japan have refurbished or reinvigorated, I think would be a better word, their facility in Tokyo. They opened Namco Tokyo as a more social entertainment style venue for their operation. It's American theming, lots of neon, and now they've gone back to the concept, which is only a few months old, I think under 10 months old. And they've added a lot more F&B focused for the audience that they're attracting. They've even incorporated F&B capabilities into the games and the entertainment. Picture example there is you can play the claw machine and you can actually physically put your drink or your snack in a special holder next door to the machine. reminds me of some of the bar taverns that include a cup holder. Also in Japan and Tokyo, we see the entrance of a new crane, or UFO as they would call it, and gashipo facility. Interesting, this again is following the retail model where they've created a design that can fit easily into a retail unit that's been vacated. A restaurant chain that also added a entertainment component to it was Gary's Place, named after the owner's father. Their first facility was light on the entertainment and heavy on the food. Their second facility that's throwing its doors open in Seattle in Washington State is heavy on the entertainment and combines the food. So food and fun, if you want. Reminds me very much of the original Dave & Buster's model. Then we see companies parachuting in secondary entertainment attractions into their facilities. The first being our friends at Power Play in in Canada. The first of these, pardon Dante, the first of these Power Play facilities has thrown its doors open in Canada, and they've just now added an immersive Gamebox as a new attraction to their facility. And Nitro World in Paris has added an immersive Gamebox to their facility, also in that location. Okay. We have the Hub Park in Kenya, so we've gone further afield, and this facility has really pushed the boundary of really where the market is going. We are seeing new markets that haven't really been touched by the FEC bug that are now jumping straight into the mixed-use leisure entertainment concept straight away and looking to roll out a brand. The Hub Park is part of an operation that has slowly been rolling out in Africa, these type of entertainment facilities, and I wouldn't be surprised to see this snowball. Holy Moly opened up their latest their fifth US operation in Texas. What a surprise. Our friends with Hasbro City Hasbro has been expanding its presence in the market. It already has Hasbro City in Mexico, and it has added to their facility there the Nerf experience. So you can kind of see these experiences being parachuted in as standalone attractions. Birdies, as it is a mixture of mini golf with some entertainment, 27 holes. Reno deserves to have something like this, and I think the owners are banking on their celebrity to be able to roll out at least a few more of this kind of brand. And then we have Operation Level Up. At least they had the operation at the front. I've got a lot of Level Up companies on my database at the moment. This is in Dubai, and it's a shooting environment. It's very active entertainment, gamified laser tag styling with some amusement, with some food and beverage. And I get the feeling that this is a chain proposition being tested out here in Dubai. Game On theme park, not to be mistaken for Game On Sports Park, a Malaysian operation. They have about 3 or 4 facilities under the chain, and they've opened their latest one with about 14 attractions, a mini indoor theme park operation. Star Pins is opening in the UK in Coventry. This is part of a bigger chain. The Roxy Leisure Group, Roxy again, had purchased into what we would call boutique bowling. Roxy is boutique bowling style, is a mixed-use entertainment where the Pin Star is more of a boutique bowling centric with some amusement. Either way, this is an additional brand, and as we go to the press on this information, we also see that the Roxy Leisure Group is rebranding themselves under the Professionals at Play brand. An interesting one there. Thanks to Bob Cooney for pointing us in this direction. A toy store operation, toy manufacturer and toy store has opened up within one of their venues, what they're calling the Dragonfly Cafe, which is a cafe component with virtual reality amusement machines as an added frisson to retain a longer dwell time from their audience. Off-the-shelf Chinese VR systems at the moment. It would be interesting to keep an eye on this to see how successful this works. And then finally, we kind of have a success story of seeing our friends at 2-Bit Circus reopen their operation following the closure of their core site in LA. They found a new temporary site that will allow them to take the best from their original facility and put it into a temporary installation, which they can use for private hire and for special boot camp events. And we can expect this will be the launch pad of their re-entry into the market. We're wishing them a lot of luck with that. And just finally, on things shutting down, or going into interesting times, what happens if you have a tall viewing gallery in a seaside location that doesn't attract anyone? Well, our friends at I360 Attractions had this viewing gallery in the seaside town of the south of England, and they've just announced they've gone into administration. You know, the facility cost them about 162 million to develop, and they're kind of sitting on a financial outstanding of 51 million. So, you know, fingers are crossed that they find a bridging loan or they find a sugar daddy that's going to come along and save them, because that would be a pretty big eyesore if it becomes derelict, because it would be sitting right next door to a derelict seaside pier that has been empty in that neck of the woods. So it kind of tells you that if you see that there's an abandoned entertainment facility near where you're thinking of opening an entertainment facility, do a little bit more research. Anyway, that's enough from me. I'll let you go. Have a good one.
Okay, I'm going to try that again so that you don't just look at me and wonder like why he's like talking and I was muted. So, all right, those of you who are listening, I'm sorry for the topic, for the little break there. But anyway, what I was going to say is I love Kevin's son, Dante, sharing his own thoughts during that segment. And so thank you, Kevin, for walking us through all the latest openings and the, unfortunately, few closings that are actually going on in the industry. And one of the reasons that we actually cover this stuff is that we like to make sure that you are seeing types of trends, the things that are currently opening. You know, we see multiple types of venues opening, but then you also might see something that's a little bit unique. Like I thought it was interesting to see that Flight Club, which is obviously the augmented darts social competition venue. They're adding golf simulator bays in their Melbourne location. And so I just thought that was interesting, right? They're beginning to recognize perhaps that having a single attraction model, even though F&B is also a type of an attraction, may or may not be the best solution there. So maybe they're just testing things out, like it's had some golf sim bays, and maybe they just had some extra space. But anyway, I thought that was interesting. Also, Crazy Pool at Roxy Lanes in Bristol. And this is basically like mini golf. If you haven't seen Crazy Pool before, and I was able to grab a picture in time, but it's basically mini golf but it's raised up, and you use a pool cue and a golf ball to actually go through and do different types of like mini golf holes. But it's it's elevated, and so it's a little bit more of a social environment. So anyway, that is Crazy Pool at Roxy Lanes. And you know what? I just want to give kudos and congratulations to Brent Bushnell for opening up his sideshow, which is the 2-Bit Circus's new temporary location that they're calling the sideshow. And it's been a little while, and I'm excited to see that is finally opening up. And I'm going to have to get up there and check it out here pretty soon. All right. Coming up next, you're going to have Chuck DeMonte with promo pro tips, as well as Adam Pratt with Arcade Corner, after a quick word from our sponsor.
If you run a location-based entertainment brand and want to attract more visitors, check out Radius. They use real-time location data and customized marketing strategies to help brands like yours stand out. Radius can boost your foot traffic and build a loyal customer base. Plus, they're offering a complimentary local market analysis to show you exactly how they can help you grow. Curious? Visit radius.co and ask about your free market analysis. That's RAYDIUS.co.
All right, Adam Pratt, take it away with Arcade Corner.
Greetings, Adam with ArcadeHeroes.com for Arcade Corner at the LBX Collective. Going to be a little brief today. I've been trying to get dates on the shipment of a bunch of different games, but still haven't been having a lot of luck. So if anybody out there works for a manufacturer and I haven't covered you yet as to when your products are going to be shipping that you showed at IAAPA, please get a hold of me and let me know so I can get the most up to date. And so the only things to add on to what I talked about last time, Alan 1, they have Avian Nights coming out in March. And that will be accompanied very likely by something else, but that hasn't been officially announced yet. I know what it is, but we'll save that for later once it does get the announcement. Fortunately, Andamira USA did get some information there. Most of the items that they showed at IAAPA are shipping. I just don't know about Crazy Toy Jr. and Talking Tom, but otherwise, the Ghost Coaster ride for the SpongeBob VR Bubble ride or coaster is shipping. Spider-Man single pusher model, the Star Wars coin pusher, those are shipping. And so, if those interested you at all, that's you can grab those. Oh yeah, Pump It Up Phoenix 2024 has actually been out for a while. So if that dancing game interests you or interests your customers, I know it does very, very well with Latin American customers. And so if you have, if that fits your demographic, that could be a good one to add. This was Bandai Namco. A lot of that talked about last time, and I haven't found out anything concrete yet on any changes, like the Taiko no Tatsujin Kitty Ride. Coastal Amusements, from what Paul at Coastal had told me, sounds like pretty much all the new stuff is coming out by next spring, so around Amusement Expo. March, April is what it's sounding like. So they're doing extensive testing. They're seeing really good numbers on a lot of their stuff. Interestingly enough, he mentioned that Jump in Space, the trampoline game that was redemption game that was there. Doesn't perform well in trampoline parks, but it performs well everywhere else. So if you have a trampoline park, maybe that one doesn't work. And I guess that makes sense as to, you know, there's enough competition there with trampolines anyways, but in a space where there's no trampolines to compete with, then it does very well because it's so different. But again, those are coming out in the springtime. And I will also be uploading this file, or I'll reformat this because what I got here is not the best, but uploading that to the LBX Galaxy. And so you can see that. And I'm working as best I can to find out when all these things are shipping. The new update to NBA Superstars and Godzilla Kaiju Wars VR, I still haven't found out yet when those are shipping out. They made it sound like it would be very, very soon, and like within this month of December 2024. But again, I have not heard any updates on that yet, but I'll keep checking on that. And Sega, a lot of their games are shipping, as mentioned, but the Alpha Ops VR Strike, Big Sea Fishing, and High Five are next year. High Five coming out the soonest out of those, and then Big Sea Fishing, and then Alpha Ops. Oh, yep, got another page here. But there wasn't any changes to these from what I found out. I haven't heard anything back from Eunice yet. And so just waiting on that. So again, oh yes, ELOT, that's one that's not on there that I need to add. Everything that they had at the show is shipping, including the new Popeye Boxer and the Popeye Dizzy Divers coin pusher. And so that is at least covered. Still trying to find out about Ice and Baytech and again, a few others, but hopefully on the next arcade corner, I'll be able to keep you up to date on that. But the only other thing that I could add to this is that there was an indie game that was not at the show called Perfect Pour. And funny enough, this was the inspiration for Baytek's Icy Slush Rush. It's been out there testing for over a year, and the gameplay is very similar as far as the core gameplay is to fill up a glass. In the case of Perfect Pour, it's either alcohol or soda. The family-friendly version is soda, so that if you don't run a bar arcade, you can run that. But it was originally designed for bar arcades, and the whole idea was to get that perfect pour all the way up to the tip of the glass without spilling and not too little in the glass. And it has these little joystick taps to use. And so that one, I have this on arcadeheroes.com, where there's a new trailer for it, and it's the intent is to have it launched by February 2025, which will actually get it out there before Icy Slush Rush. However, in thinking about it, I don't think that these two are really going to affect one another. Obviously, Baytek has a huge reach, and a lot of people know about that. That's for FECs, whereas bar arcades probably have zero interest in getting something like an Icy Slush Rush because they rarely buy new equipment as it is. They oftentimes, if they do, it's just something that's more retro, and so the indie arcade scene tends to hit that a little stronger. But I was surprised at IAAPA how many indie arcade games or smaller or minor manufacturers there were, such as Chef It Up, Armed and Gelatinous, Kung Fu Kickball, the Sub Soccer Arcade, Killer Queen Arcade. There's quite a few, and those had been missing from the scene, so to speak, for a while. So it was good to see them making their comeback, and I'm sure as we get to Amusement Expo 2025 and IAAPA 2025, we'll see their presence increase further. But that makes for the shortest arcade corner that I've done so far. Check back next week for even more information. Hopefully I'll have those dates. Again, anybody out there that has replied already to me on that, thank you so much. Anybody else who catches this, please let me know, and so we can get that information out there to people who are interested in buying your products. We'll see you guys later.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you, Adam Pratt from Arcade Heroes. So again, if you want to check out more content from Adam, it is arcadeheroes.com. All right, one of the things I was excited about is Avian Nights from Alan 1. So I absolutely love this game. It's a little bit reminiscent of Joust, although they couldn't actually use the Joust name. It's very, very similar. Gameplay is somewhat similar, but it's also, I'm excited for, I don't know what the new game is. Adam hasn't told me. I know he's got his NDA, but they also are the same company that has done Asteroids Recharge, which is obviously a new version of Asteroids, but it is, what I like is the multiplayer gameplay as well with Asteroids Recharge. And so anyway, that was also coming, that's already been out. So it's nice to see their Avian Nights actually come to fruition as well, launching in March, which I'm sure is done to coincide with Amusement Expo. And we'll see Alan 1 there. All right, let's hear from Chuck DeMonte with Promo Pro Tips.
Hello and welcome to Promo Pro Tips with Chuck DeMonte. That's me. And so today I want to talk about technology, right? And maybe you ask yourself, this is a promo discussion, and marketing discussion. Why are we talking about technology? If you do not know this by now, technology goes hand in hand with marketing. The better your technology is, the better your marketing and promotions can be, right? So when I say technology, I mean a couple of things come to top of mind for myself personally. And for me, it's your website, right? That's your technology, but also your CRM and sort of your point of sale, your POS, right? So the better those things are as a location-based entertainment brand, the better you're going to perform, right? So if you are a ticket-based, event-based, location-based entertainment brand, you want to make it as easy as possible for people to buy tickets, to book events, right? Especially online with minimal interaction with some of your staff, right? So how do you accomplish this? One, again, let's talk about your website, right? Your website really needs to be easily navigated, right? Very user friendly, very mobile friendly, right? 80% of the people that come to your website, I'm going to say most likely are coming from a mobile device, right? So it needs to be really, really easy to navigate, okay? Now, the great part about that is you could get a really nice website done, cheaper and cheaper every day, right? And so there's sites like Wix and these other sites that are drag and drop. And, even if you get a WordPress site done, right, you could potentially get it done. If it's an informational based site, you don't need a ton of functionality. You're not, you're not creating Facebook, right? So, you can get it done decently inexpensive. And the great part about that is not only you can put in more effort to making it look really good and being, like I said, user friendly, right? But then when you connect to your CRM or your POS where people are trying to purchase tickets or book online events, it's basically going to be a link click to sort of a third party portal, right? And they'll take care of that technology. And there are great platforms that do this. One that comes to mind is Roller, right? Roller is really well integrated, really well thought out. And it's a great, for booking online and booking tickets. And, if you're an attractions-based, location-based brand, entertainment brand, and people have to sign waivers before they come in, right? They'll take care of that. And so, again, first and foremost, your website should be good. Now let's discuss the CRM and POS. Why is that important? So one, like I said, the easier you make it for people to do business with you, the more revenue you will make, right? So make it easy for people to do business with you, okay? And then the other piece of that is sort of retargeting, empowering marketing, getting, so let's say you have, go back to the waiver example, right? Your CRM should basically connect with your email marketing service, right? And that's another piece of technology, your email marketing. So if somebody comes in, they sign a waiver or even buys a ticket, say they don't have to buy a waiver, they should be put into your email marketing, right? Their tickets should be emailed to them. They should then be putting into SMS marketing, email marketing. So all that should connect and talk to each other, right? Now you say that kind of sounds easy, but it's not. Not every CRM is built so that it's going to integrate really easily with, your primary, email marketing channels like a MailChimp or Constant Contact or, other services, right? So it's really important that your CRM integrates well. Hopefully they have something like, already an API built on something called Zapier or Zapier, which is Zapier. It's a way, if you ever heard of, we're getting two technical APIs for different services to talk to each other, right? So these different technologies can talk to each other. So again, your CRM should talk to your email marketing services. That's the first thing. So you got website, you got a good CRM so people could easily purchase tickets and book online events. That CRM should also connect to your email and SMS marketing, very seamlessly, right? So now you're building your list of email marketing. It's easier to get somebody to come back and it's easier to get a new customer. So you want to make sure your customer retention is good. How could you do that well? Technology, okay? Now, one of the sort of final pieces that are really, really important with technology is conversion tracking, right? If you want to run the most effective ads possible, and this could be paid ads via Google search, paid ads via TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, right? Search engine optimization, okay? If you want to know the effectiveness of those as much as humanly possible, you want to be able to track conversions on those paid marketing efforts, or really any marketing efforts, right? And the way to do that would be making sure your CRM POS integrates with stuff like Google Analytics, integrates with conversion tracking from Google Ads, and integrates with conversion tracking from Meta and Meta Pixel, right? This is going to allow you to understand where you're getting the most ROI, return on investment for your marketing. It'll allow you to retarget people, right? You could even do stuff like abandoned cart, meaning say I came to your website and I went to go purchase a ticket and I never finalized my checkout, right? So you could even do things where like, I'll get an email, right? Say I was in your system already. I'll get an email and say, hey, you're about to, purchase this ticket. It's still available, right? Or make sure you finish your checkout. Maybe they don't do that. Maybe you could offer them a discount code, right? And say, it's in there after a day, they still haven't finished their checkout. You could email them and say, hey, take 20% off the ticket price, right? And check out in your cart and buy your ticket. So, having your technology up to par is really important to be the best, run the best promotions and marketing you possibly can. So if you don't feel like that is in the right place, I encourage you to find somebody, look into it, get better there. I know, it sometimes seems, like a big, thing to show, a big mountain to climb in terms of technology and intimidating, but it's really not, right? It's just little by little, look into it, see how you could improve your website, see how you could improve your CRM, your marketing. They're not that expensive these days, right? And again, I think it'll pay for itself, multiple times over, because your customers will be able to interact and engage with you, and purchase tickets easier, and you'll be able to understand your marketing better, and you'll be able to do better marketing, right? Again, back to that example, is you'll be able to retarget people easier with paid ads and paid meta when you have this type of technology. So hopefully that's helpful. Come back next time. We'll be talking about some other cool stuff when it comes to promo and marketing your location-based entertainment.
Intercard is the only cashless system designed, developed, and manufactured all under one roof. They introduced cashless technology to the amusement industry and have been leading the way for over 30 years. Cashless systems from Intercard increase customer spending, guest satisfaction, and boost revenues by up to 30%. Intercard is so proud to be serving the amusement industry, and if you aren't already part of their global family of customers, they hope you will become one soon.
All right, we're going to hear from, we're going to do some crowd questions. Let's get into it. All right, so this first crowd question, well, actually, I say it's first. It's the only crowd question today. So, all right, so I don't know. All right, so our crowd question for today comes from Luis Martinez, and he's with Alpha Omega Amusements. He's a good friend of ours, and we love absolutely seeing him at all the shows. He came by the speakeasy, we hung out for a little bit, and he also goes around and he does a lot of videos for Alpha Omega Amusements as well. And his question is, how does mentorship fit into our industry? So how does mentorship fit into our industry? And I reached out to a couple of people, and unfortunately it's online. It's my bad. I reached out a little bit too late before the recording of the show. So I'm going to take this one. And actually, I feel like I can, because I have been a mentor through IAAPA for a number of years. They have a really cool mentorship program. And ultimately, they connect you with 1 to 3 mentors throughout the year, and you just check in with them on a regular basis. You talk with them, understand a little bit about where they're looking to go in the industry, and they do try to connect people with others who have similar backgrounds or skill sets or interests. So, if somebody wanted to be an engineer at a manufacturing, like a roller coaster manufacturing place, I probably wouldn't be the right mentor for that person. And so IAAPA does a good job at making those alignments and those connections. I've also had the opportunity to join a number of other people who have been on the show before. So Beth Stanley, Christine Buer, obviously has done this as well. And this is the mentor, the Career Slam at IAAPA Expo, and it always happens on Thursday afternoon, right around 4:30, as the trade show floor is winding down on Thursdays, and a bunch of people come flowing through. It's a little bit like speed dating, and you get a chance to meet a lot of different young professionals, the people looking to graduate school very soon and come into the industry. And they just get to ask you a bunch of questions. You get to ask them a bunch of questions, and I absolutely love doing it because it's an opportunity to really help to either provide some real, actual, tangible guidance and connections, or also just some inspiration. Sometimes it can be a little bit daunting to try to come into a brand new industry, especially as a younger kid. And when I say kid, they're adults, but coming out of college and trying to find their way through the industry. And so anyway, I think that mentorship has a big spot to fill and play in our broader attractions industry, and then also on the location-based entertainment side. And look, it doesn't have to be some formal program. I think that it could be somebody who maybe is one of your employees, and they seem like they really want to grow in this industry, and they want to become management and eventually run an organization or go off and start something of their own. And so you never know exactly where somebody is going to be, but if you can take somebody under your wing, then that is an ideal scenario. I also will talk about it on the other side. I always have mentors. I have mentors in this industry. I have mentors in the broader technology and software industry. In fact, I'm going to lunch with one here shortly, and he's a CEO of another startup.com site that has been around for about 20 years. They're not really a startup, but they're very successful, very well known, and I look at him as a mentor. We have great conversations, and he's helped guide me through ups and downs of the different businesses that I've been involved in. And so I think it is important to both seek out mentors and find people who can help guide you and help you grow in your career, but also it is important to provide mentorship as well. So Lewis, thank you so much for asking that question. I hope that is what you were looking for. And you know what? I'm looking forward to having further discussion on LBX Galaxy, which is where you posted this. So again, thank you so much, Lewis, for sharing that. All right. We're going to go ahead and wrap that up. I'm excited for next week because, first of all, Christine Buer will be back and she's going to have a special announcement, and it's one you're definitely not going to want to miss. So you're going to want to watch next week's show. Ideally, watch it live. It's, you know, maybe with a little hot chocolate with some Rumple Mints mixed in, and and then sitting by your fire or something to stay warm while you're listening or watching to the LBX show. And then I'm also excited because Dave Wallace is going to be joining us with a new segment that we're calling Chow Time. So Dave Wallace has an enormous amount of experience across the board, across operations, but he's specifically going to be talking about food and beverage operations and all sorts of things that fall in the food and beverage world and domain of our industry. And so very excited for him to do this. This will be a semi-regular segment that we will begin to infuse into the LBX show. So looking forward to that next week. And with that, everybody, this is Brandon Wiley signing off from the LBX show. Stay tuned and keep kicking ass.